seven subspecies. When I say seven subspecies, we talk about the Karvinsky's group. Karvinsky is a vertical agave. When it's ready, it's like a 3 meter tall. However, the thing is some sub-variations of the species because every single one is vertical, but the morphology is different. Let's say one is like a yellow, and the other one is like a deep green. Some is short, some is big,
but they all
some
come
is
from
tall.
the same plant.
Exactly. If you check the DNA code, it's
All
not so
different.
much variations there. But morphology speaking, you can see how the plant tastes different and looks different. This plant takes about 10 to 13 years to get ready. When it's ready, it's 3 meals old. This is Madre Cuish. And yeah, let me clarify this. The thing is, if I say agave or I say maguey, actually it's the same thing, but we use different words in different ways. Let's say agave. Agave is to tell the scientific name. Maguey is for say the common name, but the common name could be so extensive. Let's say that's agave angustifolia, all this plantation, right? Agave angustifolia is with like a 20 different common names inside the country. It's insane if you try to memorize every single one. Look.
He's
African.
I said he's laying there scratching.
That is the roots or the pets. Yeah, that's the pets.
We call them pets. Yeah, I've seen that word a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
You eat what?
This is maguey tobala. Okay? This is a really good example why the common name is really ambiguous. That's a Potatorum suc and that is some semaniana. Different species of agave, same common name. So because you can see, look, this is like a teeth, and that is different. Now this is like a finger, this is like a teeth. Yeah, the morphology of the leaf is very different. So my point is, you need to know, you need to ask about the scientific name because another way you don't know exactly what are you drinking. This plant takes about 6 to 8 years to get ready to make mezcal. It's the second more important plant in the culture of mezcal. My family becoming popular because we understand the process of reproduction. And I know some silly, right? You say, come on, it's a seed, you put that in the soil, that seed, no. You need the right amount of soil above the seed, the right amount of humid, and the right amount of shade. Another way, you just lose your time. So, agave Potatorum suc, semaniana, or tobala. Look, all this line is some agave combalis, or maguey jabali, that's a common name. Normally it's ready in 15 years. It's still like this one when it's ready. The core is like 17, 22 kilograms per core. You need a bunch of that to make a batch. Also, this plant was declared in danger of extinction this year. Last year. So it's not legal. Harvest this one in the wild. And second is this plant is really tricky to make the process. Why? Because it's full of saponins. The saponin is the main ingredient to create foam in your shampoo. When you buy some soap foam controls for your laundry, all depends about how many saponins you put inside. You can find saponins in many parts of the nature. One of that is this one. So when I make fermentation with this, my fermentation tank is like a bubble bath. It's a pain in my neck. Also, in distillation, you need to keep control of temperature because another way, your alembic vomit everything. 2 months ago, I was running at the third distillation process because also you need to distill twice. If you distill twice, it's yellow. To get the crystal color, you need to distill twice. So in my third distillation process, my alembic exploded. At least my daughter and my wife was in Walmart. Oh, yeah, all my distillery on flame. But it was a tricky thing because all on flames. But just 6 seconds. 6 seconds. All right. Yes. Yeah, it was really dangerous. Anyway, so this is Javali. You can try this one today. And come on, guys, let me show you the distillery. And in that way, let me tell you something. we start here because it's not any group chasing us. In the next place, you will see action. Right here, because this is small scale production, is not it's not happen the process all the time like in other parts. In the next visit, we will visit the top 8 in the country. It's completely full. It's with 10 tons of green agave. But how works the process? So first, we need a clean oven like this one. Well, let's say clean. So, first, I will just put 1.5 tons of wood by every 12 tons of green agave. That's the relation between energy and green agave. I'm start the fire. When my fire is ready, is good enough, we just cover that wood fire with some rocks. We heat the rocks for about 8 hours, so when the rock is red, or at least is white, and I have 550 Celsius, I can start my next. So, I will show you the fiber, but I wrap some fiber, agave fiber, the waste from my first distillation process, and I moist that to cover the rocks. You will see that in the next, but we cover the rocks with the wet fiber, and we make a pile of agave above, and then we seal the chamber with some big tarp, and we cover the tarp with this soil wrap. And look like this one. So right now they need to remove the soil, remove the tarp, and in that way we digging out everything outside to there to start some rest process for caramelization. When you cook the agave plant, normally, well, it's still hot. All the sugar is in a liquid form. So when you cool down that liquid, it becomes caramel, just like that. And in that way, you can be really efficient in your fermentation. So let me show you the next step. Some pro are 4 days.
4 days?
4 days. It's 5 because it's 1 day for harvest, or maybe 2, and 4 days to cook the agave. Technically speaking, the name of this process is hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is the way to modify the structure of the sugar in some other sugar susceptible of fermentation, just like this. Come on guys, let me show you more.
So then, yeah, you said you take it out and you put it over there, just to coat.
Exactly. The fiber.
I am going to be practicing how to get pictures out of.
Yes, already the sugar is inside. Let's see.
We did this the other night. That's what he gave
Oh,
us.
that's what he gave us at the Mezcal the other night. Smelled like that. That's right.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
Very good. Really sweet. So right here.
Put some acid in it too.
Yeah, because it's smoky and it's a little bit acid too. Because it's in the middle of some fermentation process too. When you cool down that sugar, starts some fermentation process because finally you can jump yeast by the environment. Even your agave plant contains yeast just naturally. So we just chop them all in little pieces like this, and we spread this in the way of the wheel, just to smash everything. The horse pull the wheel, and in that way we smash everything. So now, my purpose here is to split it out the fibers to extract the pulp and the juice, just like that. And in that way, right here is in the middle of this a lot of expertise. First of all, to train the horse, that takes months of work. Every day, work with the horse, just to teach the horse to pull the wheel.
How long would the horse have to pull it?
The horse just work 2.5 hours or 3 hours per day, no more. If you have a big scale production, you need more horses or electric power. Works too. So, yeah. Speaking of juice, it's not so much juice. It's not the orange. The juice is together with the fiber and the pulp at the same time. I mean, just with the pitchfork, I grab the fiber, the pulp, and the juice, and I put that in my bucket. All right? And of course, some extra juice is over there. So at the end, we just clean with water. We put all that water into that hole, which is connected with a pipe, and under that piece of metal is a bucket, and we catch the extra juice there. In that way, we don't waste so much, right? And yeah, let me show you the next step. Questions at this point? All right. So, like this looks the result of my milling process. Right here is the fiber, the pulp, and the juice at the same time, together with some water, just like that. So basically, fermentation is a process of descomposition made by some yeast. The yeast is sugar, and in return give me alcohol, just like that. Basically, it's like that. So the question is, how can I get some yeast? So first, we just catch some yeast by the environment. When we start the rest process right outside, we just catch yeast by the environment. Also, my raw agave contains yeast is natural. However, just with that's not enough. So when we start the milling process, we just catch yeast by the wheel. Some wheel is there. Like when you buy a fancy bread in New York, they use like a big tank, wood tank, to do the dough. 100 years old tank, and they preserve the same piece of yeast in general.
Like a sourdough.
Exactly. In that way, we try to preserve the tanks, because all these tanks hold the yeast. That's like your sign. And well, we need to start some reproduction of yeast process. So we just have this tank like right here, right now. We just add some hot water. Well, it was hot today morning, but right now it's cold. But in that way, we provide the right conditions for reproduction of the yeast. And in that way, when we have enough population of yeast into the tank, we fill the tank completely, we put some water again, and fermentation just starts. So, fermentation plays pretty much in 4 different ways. In general way, it's aerobic fermentation and anaerobic fermentation. But in particular, could be alcoholic fermentation because of yeast, lactic fermentation because of bacillum, and aseptic fermentation because of bacteria. You can see it's not exactly clean. So the combination of that gives me something nice. However, I need to keep my balance. If I broke my balance, if you taste mezcal and taste like cheesy, it's because it's over lactic fermentation in your tank. If you taste the mezcal and it's really acidic, it's because it's over bacteria fermentation. To keep the balance, we need to clean the tank with high pressure water or some Russian water, that's it. We remove most part of the bacteria and the yeast, but even we touch the yeast too. So we clean, but not in a really deep way. So this process takes about 5 or 7 days. My goal right here is 4.5 or 5% of alcohol, no more than that. And
But isn't a bottle much more than that?
Huh?
Isn't like when you got it? Oh, it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's this fermentation. So right here I have a lot of low graduation alcohol, and then I need to extract the alcohol just to be behind the water. That's the reason why we need to start the distillation. I won't explain, and I don't want to talk about distillation. However, guys, we need to talk about smokiness, because I'm sure you think about this guy like smoke stuff, but we need to understand exactly how that happened. Let me show you that.
But this smells like caramel.
Yeah, this is still. because it's brand new. After, you know, when food is ready, smell like dinner. This is one day. Yeah, bro, that's my goal. ¿Qué tal, man? ¿Cómo estás? Ya vengo y te lo Espíritu Santa Paz. ¿Qué lo acabas de cargar? No, no. Lo acabo de hacer. Ah, qué bueno, así que vemos. Perdón. Okay, so is smokiness. The question is, how can I get smoky flavors? First of all, when I cook, it's two chemical components. When you cook the agave plant, right inside is phenol. When you cook phenol, becoming phenolic acid, that's smoky. And also, is some other ingredient which name is guayacol, that's smoky too. Second, when I cook my agave plant, some part of that becoming charcoal, that raises smokiness again. However, a huge mistake sometimes happen in my first distillation process. Let's say when I finish my fermentation, I empty that tank into this alembic. Right here inside is a 300 liters capacity pot. Above is the bell, the pipe, and some spiral for condensation, right? So, in that way, we just empty the tank into the pot, even with the fiber. If that fiber touch the pot and burn inside, you cross the line and you send the smokiness to the sky. All right? And in that way, yeah, you can see that. That's the waste. That's the acidic part of this. That tells from my first distillation process. Just like that.
That's the mistake. What do you do with the waste?
Well, with a liquid, we treat that in juice soda.
What about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can make bricks. We mix that with malt, and you can make like adobes.
So this is like the Mezcal version of racking?
Is the Mezcal version what?
Of racking, you know, you rack wine to get the particles out.
Okay.
Move it from tank to tank.
Okay, yeah, in some point it's like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, this is about the first distillation process because it's the fiber in the middle of this process. However, because this is quite old technology, it's not exactly efficient. In my first distillation process, I just get like a 28 or 29% of alcohol, no more than that. So, I just count the result of my first distillation process, and I need to redistill that stuff again to get my goal, which actually is 55. That's my media in my second distillation process. And in my second distillation process, I make my batch pretty much into fractions. It's a metaphor about the body. It's heads, hearts, and tails. And the reason why is because, well, distillation basically is the process to boil liquids because liquids boil at a different temperature. Water boils at 100 and alcohol boils at 78. If I heat my alembic in 94 or 92 Celsius, I can create the steam of alcohol. The steam come up, cross through the pipe. Right here I can create condensation and some liquid is falling back there. Just like that. Easy peasy. So,
Look at the bubbles.
huh?
Look at the bubbles.
Yeah, it's just water. It's just water for condensation. And I know it looks hot because actually it's 45 Celsius hot. But it's cooling compared with the steam. The steam is in 80 something. So in that way you can create condensation because the difference of temperature and some Mezcal falling there. And also the surface is really hot. But under is not so it's not so hot. Maybe under is like a 19, 20 Celsius. So it's cool enough to create condensation. So if I finish my process right here, I can name my Mezcal artisanal. But if I finish my process back there with the clay pots, I can name my Mezcal ancestral. That's the difference, you know that? So questions at this point?
I'm going to be dumb, but you go from that barrel. First, he starts by putting it in there, and then water, and boil it, and then steam over. Okay.
No.
I got my dumbness over with.
How
Almost like,
tiny piece of water.
yeah, okay, just water. It's not
It's with the other one.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you move the whole barrel
Yeah.
and you tip the whole barrel.
Yeah, you bring up. You bring the whole barrel to the milling process. You bring the whole barrel to the aluminum.
Wow. Those barrels are very well made.
So this is the clay pots. This is the Philippine technology. And in
This
that
is
way,
for
right
artisanal,
here inside
if
the
it's done in
furnace,
clay
It's a
pots.
60 liters capacity pot. This is the mouth of the pot. It's another pot above the first without the underpot. I need to keep fluid water, cool water all the time right here to correct condensation. And of course, we fill the pot with the result of my fermentation. We seal the connection here, here, and here. In that way, I'm avoid more or less lose steam. So when I heat the pot, the steam of alcohol come up, touch this cooler, and this is to catch the condensation from the cooler. Look at it. That spoon.
Okay. Oh.
So artisanal way, the ancestral way, and then how would they do it industrially?
Industrial way, they cook the agapan in a cylinder container and they cook with steam. They steam it.
Okay.
Milling process is made in a mechanical way. It's very efficient. You can do that in hours and directly take days.
Yeah.
Fermentation process made in stainless steel in a sealed container.
Okay.
It's not open fermentation. They add yeast to the tank. They add sulfates to rest fermentation. Fermentation is ready in, let's say, 2 days. Top. Distillation process is made in one shot because they work with a big columns of distillation. So it's not so bad. The industrial way is not so bad. It's faster, but it's flat. Because it's, yeah, it sounds awful, but because it's not dirty like my time.
I was going to say, boy, that's good. It must have been dirty.
Yeah,
Bacteria
dirty.
sometimes is good.
It's good, exactly. So that's the difference, coppers against clay. Questions at this point? No? All right. So yeah, take your photos and that's the setup.
I'm walking through the basement underneath where we just came from.
No way.
Sounds like a trail.
Take a picture. I'm in front of it.
This is untouchable. No, this is untouchable. Untouchable is 85 years old guy. He's still leading the teams on the fields. Dressed in the same way all days. Yeah, Christmas. Yeah, any holiday.
Wedding.
It's pajamas too. Yeah, all time they dress like this. This guy is considered like a national life treasure of the culture of Mezcal. So yeah, he's the boss. And well, right here they made Asian oak. Like I say, it could be American oak. This is a new one. This one previously contained one. That's red oak. And well, just like this. So when you buy a barrel, you need to think about which is your goal, speaking of time. So let's say I want to work like 12 years. If I want to work in 12 years, I need a really thin char in the inside surface of my barrel. But because we work in short terms, Asian Mezcal is 2 months, 1 year, or Mezcal is at least 1 year, I need to do that quick. So normally we pick the thick one. And look guys, to be honest, the thing is, if we compare the know-how whiskey, bourbon, rum, brandy, we are the new kids on the block. So normally the big brands contract experts from other parts of the world to do this kind of deal. Right here we just try to improve something nice. Maybe it's not so bad, but maybe for the conocedor it's not exactly the good one. And well, this is maturing glass. This is maturing glass. Traditionally, we bury this underground for at least 1 year, but technically speaking, I don't need. I just need keep the right temperature without many variations, and I need to avoid the light of the sun. That's it. So, yeah, works on the ground or right here.
So does it open 2021?
Yes, back there is some 2027.
So when would you bottle this? Like, now or still a few more years?
Yeah, well, the thing is, this one is just for celebration. It's not for sale. Yeah, big party. Here's the batch.
When can we come to the party?
Yeah, well, the last one was in November 27. And I hope so another one in Christmas. But you know, if somebody knock the door, you wanna be mi compadre, well, what can you say, man? Yeah.
And you said, oh, so,
Go ahead.
you said wine barrels too, these, you know.
A couple ones that previously contained one. You can see
Yeah,
the seal of the
yeah, winery.
the ornament.
Do you ever use like whiskey barrels or bourbon barrels?
Bourbon, yeah, sometimes. Bourbon is really nice. You know, in Kentucky it's almost free. You just pay transportation, but for them it's just garbage because they use once.
Yeah. That's true.
So guys, I propose tasting class.
Yes.
Alright? So in that way I need to prepare everything. Why not? You hang out, take photos, visit the gallery, visit the roof, you can see a really amazing overview of the fields.
Awesome.
And then see you in 10 minutes upstairs in the bar.
Okay,
Perfect.
Let's do that.
Awesome.
See you in 10 minutes.
This is glass aged. And these are barrel aged with all kinds of different kinds of barrels. The artwork that Mexicans surround themselves with is phenomenal. Well,
You're talking about the artwork, I really appreciate Mexican eye for design.
It's just incredible.
Really, yeah.
This whole city is really.
So this is his distillery, yes? He didn't say it, but
It sounds that way.
at the bar.